Hello and welcome to another In Me I Trust video. I am still Manu, and this is once more a video in which I will be translating a spiritual symbolic or story for you. In this video, that is the story of Prahlada. As usual, I will indicate how you can interpret the spiritual story to acquire some insights on how to arrive at more harmonious and healthier relationships in your life, with yourself and with the others. To experience your life in the best possible way, as the best possible version of yourself. The story of Prahlada then is one taken from Hinduism, recounting the experience of a boy with that name. As in all my analyses, I am leaving aside any and all religious debates. You can read the story however you want to read it, and you believe what you want to believe. I read stories such as this one, as I always do, with my quote translation glasses on, i.e. looking for the meaning to be derived from it. Meaning useful for everyday life and the situations in which we find ourselves. Now for the story. Prahlada is born to Hiranyakashipu and Kayadu, and the tale centers around the relationship between his father and son. Hiranyakashipu is a king, and a pretty envious one. He considers himself ruler of the universe. As the story unfolds, he starts to hate his own son, little Prahlada, for his devotion to Vishnu, one of the three aspects of the Hindu Trimurti. Why? Because Prahlada considers Lord Vishnu, and not his father, to be the supreme Lord of the universe. Singing the praise of Lord Vishnu and stating Vishnu is all-pervading. The anger of Hiranyakashipu towards his own son comes to a point of wanting him dead. He sets up all kinds of tortures and attempts to kill him, but the boy overcomes them all. Prahlada does so by his unwavering trust in and devotion to Lord Vishnu. I will not go into any further details of the story here, which for example also contains a tale that gave rise to the festival of Holi, best known in the West for throwing colored powder at each other during one of the festivities. But the underlying meaning of the festival is one that can be found in any religion really. It is very much a story of good overcoming evil, and of your ability to do that in your very own life. In this video, I will not go into Lord Vishnu. The analysis I present through this video focuses on Prahlada and Hiranyakashipu. Now, what can the story of Prahlada and Hiranyakashipu provide in tips and tricks for a good life, balanced, and with the positive overcoming the negative in your life? Let's start to translate. Here goes. 3 messages from the story of Prahlada. The first message comes from the figure of Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu thinks himself the ruler of the universe, and he doesn't like any competition for that title. Certainly not from Lord Vishnu, to whom Prahlada is devoted. What aspect of your being would you consider the ruler in your life, the king in your life? Well, Hiranyakashipu represents your ego mind, your cerebral brain, reducing everything in reality, in life, to smaller pieces to gain the impression of control, of ruling. With Hiranyakashipu, everything is black or white, me or not me. In short, all is so-called duality. You have to choose in your life between either of two dual aspects, good or bad, beautiful or ugly, friend or foe, us or them, my country or foreign countries, my language or foreign languages, and it just goes on. Pick your side is the motto of the ego mind, and also, you're either with me or against me. Don't share my opinion, you should be destroyed, says this intolerant and self-glorifying aspect inside of us, like Hiranyakashipu wanting to destroy Prahlada. I put this strongly because luckily nowadays people cannot simply destroy someone who does not share their opinion. But I think if you look around, if you look at yourself, you know what I mean with this aspect inside of you. Everything Hiranyakashipu touches turns into a duality, into either me or them. He is so proud of his control of reality that way. Like your cerebral brain, your mental mind, your ego mind. Analyzing everything, mind reading, thinking up all kinds of scenarios in order to be in control. It's the inner control freak, the control freak inside of you. How do you feel when you think yourself not in control? I bet, like most people, you don't really like that. That's the Hiranyakashipu inside of you. Desiring control, having to be in control. This desire for control can express itself in many different ways. It is at base a deep need for control. Control over your life, control over what happens in it, resulting in a power plays with the people in your life. Many do not even see or not conscious of the power plays they engage in. It is basically whatever it is that you do, that you use as techniques to persuade, to manipulate, first and foremost yourself, and then the others, to do, to behave, to be exactly as your ego mind wants it. The message here is, know when you're acting out your inner control freak. When you are thinking up 1,001 scenarios in search of control, when you are mind reading other people, when you are engaging into power plays because you want whatever in your life to be exactly as your ego mind envisages it. Control, control, control. And that is why Hiranyakashipu, your ego mind turning everything into dualities and power plays, control games, doesn't like Prahlada, in the end hating and wanting to kill him off. Why is that? For the second message, let's look at Prahlada. The boy in the story, son of Hiranyakashipu, refers to the wisdom of your heart, to living and thinking from with your heart, with the ability to see that all duality Hiranyakashipu is so fond of is but a play, and that ultimately everyone and everything is connected in ways no Hiranyakashipu can fathom. Yes, Prahlada is the son of Hiranyakashipu in the story, for a reason. This duality thinking in you, represented by Hiranyakashipu, allows you to reach an understanding of life, up to the concept even of the interconnectedness of all and everything. But your ego mind cannot go beyond the duality itself has created and creates. Prahlada can. It is an aspect in you that follows the wisdom of your heart, using your mind as a mere tool to arrive at the understanding that all knowledge is always very limited, and that the only way to live a life in bliss is to trust that whatever happens in your life is there to show you something about you, that life is unfathomable mystery. Prahlada refers to that love and grace inside of you and in everyone and everything else that cannot be found or experienced in the mind. Prahlada is the aspect of you that knows that to gain the truest of control, I must surrender it. Your ego mind might already reject this statement with a, how can I gain control if I surrender it? This is stupid. These kinds of questions your ego mind will not be able to answer. Prahlada is the aspect of you, in you, that knows that your mind, the human intellect, can take you to the door, but it cannot take you into the house of oneness, happiness, and bliss. If you now go, seriously, what is this guy on about? That's your inner Hiranyakashipu trying to block your inner Prahlada. You see, as in the story, your mind, your ego mind will come up with all kinds of situations where you get challenged, where you get tested, where you get triggered. Situations where people's behavior trigger you and you want to react in a negative way. Your mind will continue to analyze everything in your life from your conditioning and programming, mostly stuff you are no longer conscious of. Your deep inner convictions generating those habitual, knee-jerk reactions towards people and situations. But if you manage to keep your heart-centeredness in such situations, adopting the approach of your inner Prahlada, trusting that whatever reason there is for you to be in that situation with that person or those people, it will all be resolved in a satisfactory way if you manage to consciously maintain your heart connection throughout. In response to this, your ego mind, can undoubtedly and will probably come up with all kinds of situations where you need to use it, the ego mind, where it seems only normal and obvious to apply its duality paradigm, its duality-based approach to life, to reality. Again, as mentioned in other videos of mine, the mind is a great tool which you can apply in a great many settings in life to know and understand. Just don't turn it into your master. It really is terrible at it. Your ego mind's approach to life, to reality of me versus not me, doesn't have to be a negative if you remain conscious of it and keep applying a Prahlada stance in your life. A Prahlada stance of, okay, it is what it is. Let's move on, trusting that this crosses my path for a good reason, and it will be resolved in a good way. Prahlada is the heart focus you can consciously choose, knowing that there are a great many things you do not know about how life works. I can mention here the simple fact that there are many more dimensions than the 4 space-time dimensions we consciously experience as human beings. In science, cosmological models have shown that there are in fact 10 dimensions, take or leave one. And the scientific field of quantum physics has revealed that there is no matter as such, to put it in the words of Max Planck. Right, what does that do for my everyday life? What's your tip derived from this information then, you could go? Well, that there is good reason to focus from your heart. The world, the life you experience from that level of your being will always be a far happier and more connected one than if you live it from the level of your mind, in your head, regardless all the cerebral knowledge you may have acquired. The message of Prahlada is, no matter the extent of your knowledge, no matter how much control you think you have, know and choose the path of heart-centeredness if you strive towards harmony, true harmony in your life, towards love and compassion in your life. You don't have to become a saint, don't have to become an angel. No, just remain aware of all these inner processes going on inside of you. Observe yourself, the situations you're in, and the people in it, with heartfulness, with heart. Trust and surrender are key, but to be clear, don't surrender to your inner Hiranyakashipu, your ego mind. In this respect, learn to apply, it was what it was, it is what it is, and it will be what it will be. For the third message then, this concerns how Hiranyakashipu is overcome in the story. So Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill Prahlada, but eventually he and not his son gets killed by Lord Vishnu. Hiranyakashipu thought himself invincible because he had been told that he could not be killed, neither during the day nor the night, neither inside nor outside, neither on earth nor in air, neither with inanimate nor animate weapons. So one day he ridicules Prahlada again, rebuffing the boy who continues to state that Lord Vishnu is present in everything. Hiranyakashipu mockingly asks, well, is he in that pillar then? Upon which the Narasimha avatar of Lord Vishnu breaks out of the pillar and kills Hiranyakashipu. At twilight, which is neither day nor night, at the threshold of a courtyard, which is neither inside nor outside, on his thighs, which is neither on earth nor in the air, and with his nails, which is neither animate nor inanimate. I can briefly mention here that Narasimha is the lion man avatar of Lord Vishnu, so he's part lions, hence the nails. Now, what do these conditions in which Hiranyakashipu is overcome carry as message? Well, these conditions are not or, they are and conditions. They refer to balance. The message here is adopt a balanced approach in life if you want to overcome your mind's tricks and power games. You can only defeat, quote, kill your Hiranyakashipu ego mind, assigning its role as a tool and not as a master, by understanding the two sides to every story in life, the different aspects to every situation you find yourself in your life, the two persons or groups involved. In order to achieve balance in your life, you have to understand there are always several aspects to whatever in life. Using your mind as a tool to understand, and using your heart focus as the driver's seat from which you approach everything in your life, you can respond to whatever in your life in a balanced way. Learn to respond rather than react. A further message derived from the story. The fact that it's the Narasimha avatar, part lion, indicates that this is not a choice for the weak and faint-hearted. You have to have the proverbial courage of a lion to adopt this approach in your life, to go against your own conditioning and programming, overcoming yourself. Because adopting this approach in your life is not always the easiest, but certainly always the one most worth it. In the end, it's you versus you. Do you have that courage? I sincerely hope you do. To conclude, the end of the tale of Prahlada comes with a warning. After killing Hiranyakashipu, Narasimha goes on a rampage and doesn't listen to the pleas of the other gods to calm down. It is only the serenity and devotion of Prahlada that calms Narasimha. What message does this concluding part of the story carry? It is a message for when you have had the courage to battle yourself, overcoming your ego mind, that you do not need to proverbially destroy your life as you have built it up till then. It is a message to keep applying the serene and graceful stance of Prahlada, the innocence Prahlada represents. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Great people still have children's hearts. Whatever you have done or had done to you, focusing in your heart unleashes the force you have to experience to see what it can do for you and your life. All words to describe it fall short. Try it. Trust it. If you want more information on the story of Prahlada and the things I mentioned in this video, you can read up on this in my ebook, The Journey of Life Part 2, available through enmiatrust.com. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. And bear in mind, to be free comes not from changing or fixing this world, but from seeing this world as it is and opening the heart in the midst of it. Hello again. I hope you found this video interesting. You can watch all of my videos on my website, on my YouTube channel or BitChute channel. And if you would like a weekly dose of inspirational quotes accompanied by comments of mine, you can follow me on Instagram under enmiatrust_777 or on Facebook under enmiatrust. You can also check out one of my boards on Pinterest under, yet again, enmiatrust. Or you can visit the enmiatrust webshop. And if you would like to make sense of what is happening in your life, give meaning to it, you will find my contact details on my website. Links are in the captions below. And remember, life is what you make of it.